how do you make sure that you're not kicking out the dissenting voices, let's say, because of culture fit, and avoid that becoming an excuse to just avoid disagreement, because actually disagreement is valuable?
That's a beautiful point. And one of the things people don't do is actually define their culture clearly enough to be able to make that call. Is this a cult? We gift wrap everything in culture fit, right? Oh, I'm hiring for culture fit, even though all I have are 4 words on the wall that are values and an idea in my head of what our culture is that I can't articulate and no one knows. Like that's not a culture fit problem, right? That's a clarity issue. We love to say culture fit is just a blanket reason when we haven't really defined it. And so step 1 is defining your culture. And what you'll find when you do that is you'll have that clear intent we talked about, right? Who we are, what we do, why we do it, and where we're going. That's your North Star. That's the anchor point that everything else flows from. But then you have your core values. I mean, most organizations have them, and they have some loose definition of them that they plaster somewhere on the website as a marketing tactic. But the real work is taking those and defining them into behaviors. How do we do things here universally that align with this value? And how do we not do things here? And what you'll find when we look at individuals who are saying they have diverse perspectives, they come from different backgrounds, they usually fit these behaviors and these values, which makes them a culture fit, even though they think differently and come from different places. And one of the best tools that we can use are personality profiling. Right? A lot of leaders think it's mumbo jumbo and they've done a million of them, but ultimately it gives you a shared language and understanding of the ways people think and decide and behave. And when you know that, you can identify gaps in your team. If I have, for example, I have 3 persuaders and a captain on a team. If I'm looking at Predictive Index as an example, okay, I've got really persuasive, salesy people who don't have attention to detail, and I've got 1 person who loves to take charge. I'm missing some technical background. I'm missing some, the attention to detail pieces, and you can find those personality profiles in a vast array of diverse backgrounds and fill in those gaps. And so when I think of diversity, equity, inclusion, when I think of building culture in an organization, you want great diversity because it's going to fill in gaps where you need. But the key is to build that cohesion and that opportunity for them to truly work together where disagreement is open. We can have a true conversation around us not agreeing on the path forward and then work together to come up with a plan. We might not agree on the direction, but we can respect each other enough and allow each other the opportunity to have a conversation around it. So there's discomfort in bringing in new and different that people avoid, but it's so important and valuable. So step 1, define your culture so you can actually articulate it and identify those people, and you'll be surprised at how many people fit into that. And then step 2 is find that shared language around behavior and personality, and how do we fill in gaps to make sure that we are setting ourselves up for success and not falling into groupthink.
Welcome to the Leading with Integrity podcast. Leadership talk for the modern manager. With your host, David Hatch.